Hello friends, Dane here, right here on the floor in the gym at Sit, Stay, and Play. It's good to be back with you again this week. I've got a really topic that's important for us to understand when we're training with our dogs. How many times have you been in a situation, I'm sure we've all been there, at least once, where you stumble into something and you start working it, and everything falls apart, and you say, or somebody says to you, well, what did you expect? Because you're in a situation where you didn't do the planning. You didn't do the setup you needed to do to make it work out, and therefore, poor prep work, poor outcome. Well, the same thing can happen with our pups. Right, Dolly? It can happen with our pups if we don't have clear expectations. Clear, measurable, understandable to the dog expectations of what we want them to do. I hear it all the time. Maybe you're one of the people who said it to me, and that's okay. I say, somebody says, hey, I want my dog to stop jumping all over people when they come up to say hi. And I say, well, what do you want your dog to do? And they go, well, I just want him to calm down and behave. Well, yeah. You want him to calm down and behave? Of course you do. I want that for you too. But is that a concept that your dog can really understand? Calm down, behave. I don't know. Does she have any idea what those words mean? Or could you have better words? I want my dog to sit and to stay in place with their paws on the ground while somebody walks up and pets them and walks away, and they remain seated through that whole thing. See what I mean? Those are clear, understandable expectations. Maybe your dog at the moment's not up to meeting those expectations, but those are clear, understandable expectations of what you want to do. I want you to behave and be calm. Yeah, that's kind of vague. That's kind of hard for a dog to deal with. But I want you to sit and stay in place in the face of this particular distraction. There's an expectation. And we have that expectation, and we can have it with training anything. It's real important that we have clear, understandable expectations. And some of you may have seen us do this in class before, or see me and your sister do this in class before. Oh, big yawn. But I'm going to ask her to do probably one of the most common tricks in the world, and I'm going to let you watch it and see if you can let's see if you can come up with 4 expectations that I have for Miss Dolly when I do this trick, okay? You ready here, girl? Ready? The trick is shake. Sit. Sit. Shake. No. I got a treat in my hand. That's getting her too excited. Sit. Shake. Ooh. Yes, good girl. Sit. Too excited. Too excited. Come here. Sit. Shake. Sit. Okay, good girl. That was kind of rough. W.C. Fields famous for saying, never work with children or animals. She normally does this trick just perfectly. But I get her on camera, and something's going to go awry. Let's try again. Sit. That's not a sit. Shake. Okay. Well, maybe you couldn't see it. But I wonder if you did. Maybe through the ways that I was correcting her. What are my expectations for her? What do I expect to have happen when I ask her to shake? Well, for me, I have a list of expectations. One is, and she failed on this one this time, yes, you did, is I expect her to stay seated, not lay down, not stand up, okay? Another is, I expect her, and this is my expectation, doesn't need to be yours, I expect her to give me her right paw, and only her right paw. This behavior today, throwing both at me, was very unusual. But the expectation is that she only gives me her right paw. She lets me hold it and shake it up and down. That she did beautifully. And she remains seated as she puts her paw down. Okay, well, she didn't do that so hard. Okay, she did it perfect that time. Yes, good girl, you deserve a treat. But I have those expectations. Did I go into my training with my dog with all of those expectations? No, I didn't. I need to find one expectation, one thing. Maybe it's get my dog to lift their paw up off the ground. I don't care whether I can hold it. I don't care whether they're seated. I don't care whether it's left. I don't care whether it's right. But they lift their paw up for me. Can you do it? Can you lift the paw up? Yep, like that. And just accept that. And that would be one criteria. And I would work on that, and I would master it until I got it perfect. Then I would add a second criteria. I could choose only rewarding her for the right paw, or I could choose her letting me grab hold of the paw and hold it for a second. But I wouldn't want to choose both, because I want to add one expectation at a time. So whenever you're training your dog, whether it's a trick like shake, or whether, yes, good girl, did you guys see that? Or whether or not it is meet and greet when somebody comes up to say hi, or whether or not they're stay in place and stay seated and waiting for you to put their food bowl down and wait for the release word. What behavior they're supposed to have when you put your leash on. Whatever it is, make sure that you have really clear, well-defined expectations, and then working on one expectation at a time. Build those up until you finally have a finished behavior. Our latest one, we don't have our toy with us today, is one we're calling Hit It. You may have seen this meme floating around the internet where you put a treat on the back of the spatula and the dog hits the flat side of the spatula. It makes the handle fly up and the treat flies in the air and the dog catches the treat in their mouth. What's my first expectation? I think that one's pretty obvious. My first expectation is my dog just learns to hit the spatula and make it move. And that's where we started. There were no treats on the spatula. There was no worry about which way it went. There was no worry about how hard they hit it. There was no worry about flying anything. We started with one expectation, and that was just her learning to hit that spatula. We've moved a little bit beyond that, but it's still not a finished treat, is it, girl? No, we'll get to it eventually. So everybody, please keep in mind when you're working with your dog, don't be vague, don't be obtuse. Be really clear, knowing exactly what behaviors you expect from your dog and which one you're working on right now and which ones you've put aside for later. Take care, have fun training, and I'll see you around the ring.